Hey, look at that. Who needs a clip anyway? Well, oh, I do. And that one's rolling, and that one's cool, and that one's rolling, and that one's cool. All the Penn Points are on all the screens. The lights are on. Let me put my wrist protector on, and I think we are ready to go. And this Penn Point is being brought to you by Squarespace. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this woman in Poland, okay? And this woman should so be an American. And you should look it up right now. I can't pronounce her name, and I won't even try because I'll slaughter it. But her nickname is Doda, D-O-D-A, Doda, which I don't know how you pronounce that in Polish, but I say Doda. And she is this incredible, very, very attractive woman. And what I love about her is she worked with a band called Virgin, and then they disbanded, and she went on a tour called the Bimbo Tour. Now, calling a tour the Bimbo Tour, I mean, that's just like total bullshit, like who cares? But the fact of the matter is she is not a bimbo. She's very, very, very attractive. I mean, like way attractive. And kind of in kind of a plastic, kind of unpleasant, like because you haven't got a chance of fucking her, you'd say, you know, she's too plastic and I wouldn't want to fuck her. But as soon as you had a chance to really fuck her, that whole, oh, she's too plastic thing would go away. I mean, she's really beautiful. And she's a member of Mensa. And Mensa to me is like a totally jive organization. And I say that because they've asked me to join many, many times. And in order to join, I have to take an IQ test. And when I took that IQ test, I would find that they wouldn't let me in because I'm too dirt stupid. So I won't take the IQ test in order to find out that I can't be in Mensa. So I'd rather say I just don't want to be in Mensa. But anyways, Doda, I guess that's her name, was not, Doda. She's, it's Doda. That's the way you pronounce that, right? You pronounce that Doda, right? Sure. And Doda has an IQ of, I think it was 156. But my IQ is low enough that I can't remember the IQ of other people. So Doda is this singer, and she's just, as far as I could tell, only listen to a little bit of her music. It's kind of like jive, like, you know, it's not Sun Ra, you know, it's it's kind of like a lot of gated snare and all that stuff. And that's fine. I mean, that's fine music. It's just not the music that Eddie Gorodetsky, who's one of the funniest men who ever lived and is the head writer on 2.5 Men, once said about music, all music within 3 years, plus or minus 3 years of your first blowjob, you can't really judge. Because music plus or minus 3 years of your first blowjob is all tied up in nostalgia. And that even means getting the blowjob, giving the blowjob, or even thinking heavily about the blowjob. The music you were listening to during that time, you can't really judge. I mean, those songs on the radio, songs I had sex to in high school, come on the radio, and they're absolutely speaking to my heart. So, I can't judge them. And so I can't really judge her music because it's pop music, and it's not the kind of music I listen to now, but if I were the right age now, I'd be listening all the time. But Doda has an IQ, so she says, and IQ tests are bullshit, we all know that. But she was willing to take the test, which I'm not, although they did give me the test in high school, but I don't believe the answer. It's like 156, which is way high. It's high enough to be in Mensa. And she looks like this. And she's on a tour called the Bimbo Tour while she's a member of Mensa, which is a pretty hip thing to do. Although there's no doubt that, Lady Gaga and Madonna and everybody we have, maybe not Britney Spears, would be able to get into Mensa easily if they're willing to take the test, which I myself am not. But in case that's not enough, the fact that Doda is gorgeous and the fact that she's at least, smart enough to call herself smart and, without fear of being laughed at, which is that's how smart you have to be. Smart enough to say, I could think about joining Mensa. So she's smarter than me by a lot. And gorgeous, and does music that people find popular, makes very happy, and just great lips. And on top of all that, she has been arrested for blasphemy. An attractive woman with a high IQ who was arrested for blasphemy. Look how hard I am. I mean, it's just, oh man. She believed in dinosaurs more than she believed in a lot of stuff written by ancient people who drank too much wine and smoked too much herb. I think she said herb or weed or something. I'm not a druggie, but I know how to do this. I learned that from Cheech and Chong. I mean, when you kiss your fingers like this, it either means you're on the box, you're on a can of spaghetti sauce from the 60s, or you're smoking dope. And it turns out that when they say that the Christ was anointed, that anointed, am I saying that right? Anointed. That anointed had to do with certain herbs that included marijuana. So in order to be the Christ, he had to be, I guess, she's saying, I don't know anything. I'm a biblical scholar. I might as well be a Polish pop star. That he was, the people that wrote the Bible were drunk and stoned. Now, here's the great part. And for those of you who trash the United States of America, and you say, we have all these stupid Christians and all that shit, and you try to say that we don't have freedom of speech and so on, and we always got to keep fighting, and that's absolutely right. But all the same, in Poland, she is facing 2 years in prison. 2 years in prison. 2 years in prison. For saying that the Bible was, she believes dinosaurs more than the Bible. So look into Doda. She's really, really cool. She's attractive. She's sexy. She's smart enough to be smart enough. She does music that some people like, although I haven't listened to enough to like it, and probably never will. But that is. Oh, and by the way, when I did all of this, did I do this to sync it? Did I do that? Did I miss that? Anyway, this thing about Doda is being brought to you by one of the great sponsors, Squarespace, and I want to tell you about this. Squarespace. We have Penn and Teller website, and the Penn and Teller website costs like $1 zillion fucking dollars a month to have maintained, because we started it forever ago. And we still have the same people, and all of us are too embarrassed to tell them that they charge too much and that we could do it ourselves easily. We could do it ourselves with Squarespace. It's a publishing system for anyone looking to build a blog, portfolio, or any kind of website. You could do Penn Point with Squarespace. To put it in layman's terms, Squarespace is a tool that would allow you, your mom, anyone really, your grandmother, to build a website that has the same functions found on some of the coolest whiz-bang pages on the web. If you already have a site, want to make it easier to use, no problem. Their newly launched Site Importer tool makes it extremely easy to move sites from other environments into Squarespace. They even have a ton of new social widgets, so no one will forget about your Twitter, okay? So this Squarespace thing is cool. As a Penn Point viewer, you can use the code PENN to get 10% off the life of your order. Go to squarespace.com to get started and tell them Penn sent you. Three most underrated things in the world are French dressing, butterscotch pudding, and hand jobs.